Welcome to this presentation on basic grid refinement in ANSYS. I'll also look into doing heat transfer example as well as applying boundary conditions in ANSYS as well. So we'll start out here. Oh, and just a note here, obviously if you're watching this presentation you have access to it, but it's a private video because it's a problem from the textbook, and per the textbook's publisher, they ask that all problems that are solved be done privately so that they're not broadcast to the beyond students that have access to it. Okay, so that's the reason why this is a private video. So solving problem 9-14. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve this problem. So we have a aluminum kind of window casing here, glass window, and the aluminum casing on the bottom, and then the concrete base to it all. And so we're going to look at what's the heat transfer through this window assembly. So we're going to have kind of the inner case where we have 68 degrees Fahrenheit, some convection coefficient, and a little bit larger convection coefficient on the outside with a lower temperature. And we'll look at what the overall heat transfer there, and we'll do some grid refinement. But all these parts, the aluminum casing, the glass, and the concrete have already been built. So we're going to do a little assembly doing mates, and then do the analysis in ANSYS. So let's go over to SolidWorks, and we'll come back to this one in a sec. Hopefully you recognize this from a previous video. But I'm going to open up a new assembly and click OK. And we're going to go with Browse. Oh, didn't want that. Browse. We'll come in here to our window. And we want to do, let's start with a concrete base. We'll click Open. And we'll green check that. Alright, and the relief holes is showing up here because I had it open in another selection, so I'm going to get rid of that. Bring in the aluminum frame. So open that up. And I'm just going to click somewhere in the middle. Now we need to mate this to get it right on top with our concrete base here. So for mating, we'll come over here to Assembly and click on the Mate button. And I'll come back over here. I'm going to got 3 different mates to get this right in the right spot we want. So we're going to want this side and we want this side. And if I don't move my mouse, I'm not going to move it all. You can notice that it says if I right click, I will get that green check to say OK, and that's what I want in this case. I want those 2 surfaces to be coincident, and that's what I get there. All right, let's get the bottom surface here. So I'll click here, and then the top surface of my concrete, and then right click to confirm. And I'll get this edge and this edge, and right click to confirm. So now it's in the right spot. It's not going to move there. All right, so we'll green check that one. Now let's add some glass to it. So we're going to insert another component. So let's bring in the glass here. So open up that and just plunk it in here somewhere. All right, so we're going to go back and add some mates again. So let's get the bottom edge here of our glass and the bottom of our little trough that the glass is going into here. Get those lined up. All right, now let's get this surface lined up. So we'll click here and green check. And then we'll do this surface here and this one here and green check. All right, so it gets right in there, right where we want it to be. Now I just need to add aluminum frame on top here. So we'll come back here and insert component, browse, and do another aluminum frame. And you can see it's the wrong way, but we'll fix that here briefly. All right, so go back and mate, and let's get the surface inside here. We want to mate with the top edge of our glass, and clearly that's not the direction we want to be. We want flip-flop. We want to be connected to the this side of the surface. We want to be connected to the other side. So we're just going to flip the mate alignment. All right, so it flips it around. All right, so we got to do 3 more surfaces here before we get everything locked in. So we're going to want to mate, let's get this surface over here, mate with this surface. And confirm that. And let's get one of the interior surfaces here. We want this surface to mate with this surface here. All right, and you can see if we look at this from the side, it's not where we want it, so we just need to flip it. So we'll go ahead and flip it. All All right, looks good. And it looks like I got the wrong surfaces there, but it flipped it for me. Get her in the right spot. All right, so that looks good. So we'll green check out of there. So the assembly is all done, and we just need to get an ANSYS. So I'll go ahead and save this. I'll save the Windows sim. Save that. I already done this before, so I have that in there from the previous time. So we'll go ahead and save that. One of the things I didn't talk about in the previous video, but if for some reason you don't have a SolidWorks integration to ANSYS, you want to save this as a different file to get it into ANSYS. And one of those ways that you can solve it is as a step file. So I'm going to go back here and do save as. And instead of general assembly, I'm going to save it as a step, AP203. So go ahead and click that. And so you see I already have one of those. Save that. All right, and once the step file is it's a generic form that's portable between several different types of CAD programs. So usually it's compatible with most things that are CAD related. All right, so we're all good there. So let's open up Workbench.